Hello, Pam. Welcome. Hello, Kathy. Welcome. Can we get a mic check? Is everything coming on cross good, smoothly? Pam, I wanted to personally thank you for the subscriptions last week. I didn't even know that was a thing you could do through YouTube. So I know I've seen it done on like Twitch and different things like that. So that's very cool. I've been contacted by a few of those people that were gifted the subs, and they were very thankful for them. So that's a very cool thing. Like I said, I didn't know that we could do that. Welcome, Gina. You can spell it however you like. I typically spell it Jaymac, but it really doesn't matter. YouTube auditor. Well, we're going to try to expand our minds a little bit. We're going to look at a few pictures and have some conversations. Good evening, Sharon. Welcome. I do, Kathy. I go by anything. As long as you get somewhere in the ballpark, I'll answer. So. I hope the screen looks as good as it does on my end. Like, this is a different setup because I'm actually dog sitting tonight. So I'm stuck in between these flatulent beasts, and I had to set up a little differently tonight just to be able to hook up with you guys. So glad to be here tonight on a Saturday. Didn't work out last night. Is there a race? I heard it earlier when I was out and about, but I didn't know. I thought maybe I knew March Madness is going on right now. I don't really follow basketball that much, and I didn't know there was a race. But I did hear cars qualifying as I was going by the racetrack. So I don't know. I thought maybe they were practicing. I'm not sure what the hell's going on out there in the world. But anyway, everybody, welcome. Welcome to Bigfoot Input Live. We're live. It's alive. Sorry, a little Frankenstein throwback for you there. If anyone doesn't know, I don't know why you shouldn't know this, but anyway, Frankenstein, the guy with the bolts on his neck, is not Frankenstein. Although that's what we refer to him as. Actually, he is Frankenstein's monster. And the doctor that created him is Dr. Frankenstein. So there you go. There's some useless trivia you can carry out into the world with you. Welcome, Jeff. Michigan. Any sightings of any dogmen up there in Michigan, Jeff? We're always interested in stuff like that. Hey, Brian, welcome. Welcome to the group. Good to see you again. Let's pull up some interesting photos. I know we love the logos. Those are great, but let's pull up something else we can gawk at here. This is a meme that I made. If you've ever seen it out on the internet, I made this. It's the scene from Jurassic World where Chris Pratt is holding off the velociraptors from attacking him. And I put that he had mentioned Todd Standing, and the velociraptors are Bigfooters. Welcome, Abbott. If anybody has any opinions on Todd Standing, you're more than welcome to voice them here in an open forum. It's okay. I myself, I don't think I'm going to dig any more into the subject. I have a whole video about Todd Standing, so if you want to go watch that, please do. I myself am not going to, badger the subject. Todd has some strikes on the board, that's for sure. More cons than pros, unfortunately. So let me know if the music is too overpowering or anything like that. What else we got here? So if anyone saw the latest video this week, this was from that video. Welcome, Steve. Yeah, unfortunately, like Todd has done some things that seem fairly legit. Like he's offered to take the National Wildlife Association. I don't know what they call themselves in Canada, but anyway, he's offered to take them out there and quote unquote show them so they can develop a protected species type of situation with the Sasquatch. But he's the ones that he's the ones that he's presented on film just aren't that believable. So, even though he's been involved with Les Stroud and I don't know if he was involved with Ketchum or not, but he was definitely involved with a few of the higher ups and the PhDs in the subject, but he just has never really presented anything notable. And then he made the documentary, which of course made him quite a bit of money, I believe. And then now he's supposed to be coming out with a second one. And you know what's crazy? I will still watch the second one. I know, even though I don't have much faith in the first one, I will still watch the second one because I want to know what it's about. So Welcome, Trevor. Abbott, I'm not sure what the Glag story is, but if you email it to us at um, bigfootinput@gmail.com, I would be glad to look it over, you know. See, and from Trevor, this is the kind of mentality that people have about Todd. They're either on one side or they're on the other. And the other side is obviously wrong, you know, but the fact of the matter is that you don't know. You know, you can have an opinion on it, but you don't know. So when Todd comes forth and Jake has human facial ratios, which is the case, Jake and Leatherface both have human facial ratios. Then, you know, you said his sister, I think it's actually his wife, does makeup, but she does makeup for like J.C. Penney's. She's not like a professional makeup artist, you know, and then yeah, you find the gloves in his truck that seem to be used in the apple scene where the apples are being pulled off the log. You know, it just he has a lot of doubt in the subject, unfortunately. You know, I would love to believe that his footage is real, but he's created tons of doubt. Um, Welcome, Andrew. So yeah, I'll show you this picture. This is not a real Bigfoot at all. Um, um, that's unfortunate. I'm gonna have to scroll to find it. It's actually part of. Oh, there it is, right there. There you go. It's part of a. It's a hearing aid ad, actually. Yeah, we'll remember, Trevor. Have a good one, buddy. Thank you. Some people just can't let go, you know? It's like, I'm not saying that he's wrong, I'm not saying that he's right, but what I'm saying is he doesn't know. But they just, I don't know, glob on. There you go. Hearing is believing. So this Bigfoot here, this picture, if you've ever seen it, is part of a hearing aid ad. Mm-hmm. It's a shame, you know. Like I said, I don't particularly care to argue with anyone because when you argue, you seem to take the stance that you know and everyone else doesn't, or like, you know, that sort of thing. But we have to take the evidence that's being presented to us into effect. You know, like we have to think about that. And it's kind of like politics, which I absolutely refuse to get into. But you can't just always be one side or the other. It can't just always be red or blue, right? You have to put some thought into it and come up with your own belief system. And I think the same is true with this subject and pretty much any subject. Um, like our friend Trevor there, unfortunately, was not willing to present any evidence for what he was saying. He just has an opinion. And he's going to die on that hill, you know? Hmm. He says, well, I'll have egg on her face. Well, that's fine. We'll see. Let's see here. Welcome, Kendall. I believe that we can all agree on that. Let me get through to some pictures. Welcome, David. Andrew, I think that anyone who has taken the time to watch the Patterson film, and I do mean the extended version of the Patterson film. Excuse me, sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to get this in a position where it's going to show these pictures to you a lot better. So forgive me for the growing pains here, but basically, like I said, I feel that anyone who has watched the Patterson film in depth can agree that that is a real film. Maybe a little better. Sorry, guys. It's just, YouTube does not offer a way to display photos during live shows. So this is something that we've concocted. Welcome, Gary. Welcome, Kendall. Track, no front. I don't know anyone from Albania. I don't know any of our followers from Albania. Netherlands, yes, but not necessarily Albania. Mr. Bright Souls, are you aware of the Flatwoods Monster in West Virginia? I don't know that this is where this film, or sorry, this picture is actually from, but to me, it does have a striking resemblance to the Flatwoods Monster. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, it's a weird photo for sure. I mean, it could be, I don't know. It could be a variety of things. Could be alien. Could be, rake style creature. This one is, of course, from Catherine Norris from New Zealand. I wouldn't necessarily call this a Sasquatch creature, but it's definitely interesting. She says it's a Wolfman. My stance on Wolfman is very mixed. And if I was looking for a Wolfman, I wouldn't expect it to look like this. Yeah, I have read Jeff Meldrum's book. Fascinating stuff, for sure. Um, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know exactly how much it affects what I do in the subject, if that makes sense. Not to put down his work at all. I mean, um, I just feel like what we do here and what Dr. Meldrum does are two completely different things. So I don't know if anybody wants to talk about this subject or not. I mean, I find it interesting. I don't know that a lot of people do, although we will be getting into a podcast on our Patreon that deals, well, it's going to deal with a lot of things, but specifically this subject will be one of our topics, and that is fairy braids, which are basically braids that are mysteriously appearing in horse mane. Caleb, I'm sure that in Alberta there are groups of Sasquatch living, you know, I mean, I believe that 100%. You guys are firing out great questions in very quickly, so I can't keep up. But let me answer Andrew. Andrew, if you watch our channel, like live, we kind of get loose with it, honestly. Like there's no editing, it's just us kind of hanging around talking, like looking at pictures and like whatever. But when we get into the channel itself, what we do is we pull pictures from all around the world. I am from Florida, so we have some Central Florida groups that we focus on that are finding skunk ape activity, Bigfoot, Sasquatch activity. If it's paranormal, if it's anything weird, man, we'll get into it, honestly. So we try to keep it on the ground as far as like, I don't want to get into aliens too much because it's just such a broad subject. But that doesn't mean that we're not into it, But and paranormal too. Like we're so into paranormal, but I don't focus that on the channel. Like we've went to different um, the hell do you call those, like hospitals and stuff that are closed down, like we go to those kind of places and we do stuff like that, but we really try to keep it focused on cryptid creatures here on the channel, and that's about it. And what we do specifically is we focus on them, we talk about them, we want to bring that subject to light. Indy, I did not watch anything recent with Todd, I promise you. No offense to anyone, I don't watch his stuff, his like Sylvanic channel or whatever. I don't watch it. Now, I will watch his new special when it comes out because I want to know what else. So it seems like David believes that they are like interdimensional beings, And I'm not going to have that argument, you know, like I know that there's that opinion exists, and there's a lot of like evidence to sort of lean towards that, if I'm honest with you, but I haven't gotten on board with that yet because it's just outside of my realm of experience, if that makes sense. But that doesn't mean that it isn't true. So honestly, Mr. Bright Souls, obviously aliens is a hot topic, I get it, but if we're talking about like braids appearing in horse mane like by themselves, I think this is Sasquatch activity. That's the only reason I find the subject like fascinating at all. And I believe that in our podcast on our Patreon channel, which we have not done yet, but if you join our Patreon channel, I believe that we will be able to talk in depth about the subject to create an argument. And the reason we won't do it on here on YouTube is because it's going to be a frank discussion, and there will be, there'll be things in the discussion that offend people, and I don't want to get reported on YouTube. So it should be interesting. Yeah, sanatoriums, right? Thank you, Andrew. That's pretty much, I think that was the word I was looking for. Caleb, I would love it, but I don't live in Alberta or anywhere near it. So David, I am familiar with Man of Light. I think his name is Greg. Um, hmm. I don't know what to say about him. I guess all I can say is his stuff doesn't impress me. I'd rather leave it at that. I don't want to badmouth the guy. His stuff doesn't impress me. Bright Souls, are you talking about Provo, Kenya? That's probably one of the biggest Bigfoot hotspots in Utah that I'm aware of. You guys have seen this picture, right? These guys, it's a very old picture, so it's poor quality, but they're sitting on a log, like having a picture, like they were like swimming in the river or something. And they're like, all right, let's have a picture. And this guy is sitting behind them. You're not talking about Skinwalker Ranch, right? I don't know that that's in Colorado. I think that's in. Gee, actually, I don't know where that is. I don't know if that's Wyoming, but it's not. I don't think it's in Colorado. Utah. Okay, yeah, Utah. I still think that's Provo Canyon. So I don't know where the hell the Skinwalker Ranch is. Skinwalkers in Utah. Okay, well, I'll take your word on that. I'm not really sure. I'm not an expert on skin. I'm not an expert on anything, if I'm frank. But I'm not an expert on Skinwalker Ranch. I know it has a lot of like there's a huge interesting subject base there, but I'm just not that deep into it, frankly. Yeah, I'm with you, Mr. Bright Souls. I mean, that's how you get deliverenced. You know, that's how you hear the banjo music. You know. Guess that's it for that upload, huh? Well, we can always look at other stuff. Yeah, Andrew, that is the thought process. I've heard that it's been debunked. I've heard, but no one has ever, like, to me, has ever proven that it's been debunked. So what happened to those people? I honestly believe was the work of a Yeti. When you get into those high altitude areas where food sources are rare, like polar bears, right? Um, they're going to be more apt to eat humans, or like you're just a bag of meat at that point. You're protein, so you fall to the bottom of the food chain. So I know that I'm not sure exactly why those people were attacked, or if it was because of territorial reasons or whatever, but I do believe they were attacked by a Yeti. Mm. Yeah, David, you're right. I mean, Thinker Thunker did put out a very impressive video on how, Todd Standing's main Bigfoot, Jake was, a human. It had human like proportions. But anyway, um, I agree with you, Mr. Bright Souls. I mean, being eaten alive has got to be one of the worst things. Like when a lion eats you, they go for the throat and they knock you out first, so it makes it easy for them to eat you. But like, let's say a Kodiak bear or like a brown bear, they are, even though they're omnivores, they lean on herbivore. So they're not heavily carnivore. So they don't know exactly how to kill you so you're food. So what happens is they'll just put a paw on your back and they'll just start ripping out chunks until, eventually you'll die of blood loss or whatever the hell it is you die of, but they just eat you in the way that they know how. And same with a Yeti. I would imagine that yes, they are an omnivore, but they would probably crush you in a few blows. So it probably wouldn't take that long for you to die before they ate you. Yeah, you're right, Andrew. Um, Grizzly Man, I mean, he died a horrific death because he made some bad choices, and that was pretty brutal. I get a lot of blowback on my opinion that Sasquatch are willing to use humans as a food source. But I think it's just, to me, it's obvious, It's like, yeah, it's like this is very much a thing. I'm not saying that every Sasquatch is going to kill you and eat you, especially like, the skunk apes of Florida, like they're very small, statuesque type creatures. So are our black bears. Our black bears are like puppy dogs. You can bark at them and they'll run away. But if you get up into these like, Tibetan areas, like, where the Yeti lives, or even certain Sasquatch that are near cave systems and things like that, I think that you're going to find yourself very much in danger of being on the menu. And, like, okay, even if I'm wrong, it's just not a chance I'm willing to take. Albert Osman, I think that's the guy that escaped because he gave the Sasquatch his tobacco. Is that right? I believe that was the story. He gave them like tobacco, and it like they hated it and like were like having a reaction to it, and then they ran. He ran, rather. Yeah, like one of them picked him up and took him back to his camp for whatever reason, and he was like held there for days. And I think eventually he gave like one of the big males his tobacco tin, and when the male put the tobacco in his mouth, like he hated it and like had a reaction to it, and he just took that moment to escape, like to run and escape. And I'll be honest with you, I think that the Sasquatch probably never had any intention of killing him, or he would have been dead. Like, I don't think him running away would have saved his life. Welcome, Gary. Yes, Gary, they do. They have different tribes, if you want to call them that, different territories. There are different demeanors from different Sasquatch. Like, some are more peaceful and want to like help humans, and then there's others that are more evil and want to use humans as a food source, or even worse things that I won't mention. GT's Outdoors, welcome. Yeah, absolutely. We've heard stories of Sasquatch using waterways, actually diving into them, and using cave systems that are under the water. And that makes total sense to me. I mean, if you like think about blue holes and things like that, or underwater cave systems, above water cave systems, there's so much of that that is unexplored for us as humans, that we have to take that into consideration as being a possibility. Sorry, this is my very own footprint that I was able to take a picture of, so I'm a little proud of it. So what Andrew is saying is that he believes them to be interdimensional creatures, or Nephilim, which are fallen angels, which fall outside of the animal and human realm. Thank you, Kathy. This was taken just outside of Highway 44 in a town called Cassia in Lake County, Florida. GT Outdoors, I will look at any and all photos or video evidence taken by anyone that is willing to submit it. All you have to do is email it to bigfootinput@gmail.com. Or if you're on Facebook, our page, Bigfoot Input, does have a messenger. You're willing to send it there. I would be glad to have a look at it. I love this sort of thing. And if it's something that we find that fascinating, I will contact you about using it on the channel. Sorry, I had to talk to my sweetie there about some Chick-fil-A. So Andrew believes they are a type of Neanderthal, which people do believe that, like the Gigantopithecus being a leftover from the Neanderthal stage. I feel that too much time has went by for them to be so undiscovered. Whereas it's more likely that they are a species of primate that we haven't discovered yet due to living subterranean, you know, being elusive, that sort of thing. I have heard, yeah, especially like YouTube, this when you get into like Oregon and those areas where they have less human contact and less human experience, they are more aggressive because they're scared. They're afraid of their areas being taken over. So mm, looks like I'm getting a late night Chick-fil-A delivery. That works. Let's see. I appreciate that, GT Outdoors. I will look at it after the show. As of right now, in this moment, I don't have a way of stopping what I'm doing to look at it, so I'll look at it after the show. king, the king of frozen pizza. You know, I like Red Baron, and I'll tell you what though, if you ever want to spend your money, because it's not this like the same price, it's probably double the price on this Freschetta frozen pizza from like I know Publix in Florida here has it. I'm sure if you're Kroger's or wherever you shop, they probably have it. I will tell you what, that is absolutely the best frozen pizza. Forget DiGiorno and those other guys. Freschetta is the best frozen pizza that I've ever had. So I will give you my recommendation on that. Yeah, GT Outdoors, you're good, man. You're good. We are not tech savvy, frankly, around here. We just get by. All right, guys, quick pause for the cause. I'll be right back. Environment. Hey, shh. I also warned you guys that I was dog sitting, which is true. All right, we're gonna try to have some semblance of a show here. My goodness. Welcome, Brian. Kathy, I am so far from okay. Like I said, I'm in this weird makeshift, studio trying to do this thing, and these mutts are not helping with the barking and their, the things that they're doing. So we're gonna keep it going here for a little bit longer, and then probably shut it down for the evening. But it's not an ideal situation. But appreciate you guys joining me anyway. Nick Matthews, welcome, sir. I believe that a Sasquatch is very opportunistic. So they are going to find those opportunities, whether they're, whether they're inside city limits or they're in the woods or whatever it is. Kind of like black bears. Black bears will venture outside of their, you know, realm to get food. I don't think so, Kathy. I don't think I did see that. I mean, maybe I saw it and I'm not sure what it is, like who posted it, but yeah. I follow your channel pretty closely, so I may have seen whatever it is you're talking about. I'll go take a second look, I'm sure I did see it. It was the thing on the road, right? Like, I did see that. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, I saw that. That's wild, and I don't really have any thoughts about it, but to anybody who's interested in what we're talking about, if you please hop on Facebook and go find Bigfoot World, cryptid researchers, of Central Florida. Click join to the group, and you will be privy to a lot of interesting cryptid activity. So Yeah, it is a private group, so just answer the questions, click join, and somebody will allow you to enter, and you will be privy to some of the best, if not the best, um, cryptid activity in Central Florida. It's amazing stuff. And I appreciate everyone joining us tonight, even like the new people too. I've never met a lot of you. I appreciate you joining us. I am sorry that it is not better quality. As I say, YouTube unfortunately does not give us a lot of leeway with what we do, but we're trying to build something unique. Um, Tonight is not the best example of that, but we do have this show every 2 weeks. Thank you for your subscription, Brian. Yes, Nick, Florida, Central Florida. Sure, Kathy. Well, you guys deserve it. Yeah, we appreciate the subscription. Come check out our videos. We do one about once a week, if not more, So we try as much as possible. All right, folks, we really appreciate you guys joining us. I'm going to call it a night. We've got some other things going on here, but I want to drop in and hang out with you guys for a little while. I appreciate all the new guys showing up, and if you guys would please subscribe and join us. Like I said, we do this every 2 weeks, so twice a month. We will announce the day before we do it. That's about all for me, guys. All right. Kathy, thank you for showing up as always. This is J Mac, and I'm out.